let's read some of our listeners' choices. We got a lot of comments on our post for tonight, so we can read some of those because a lot of them mention some of the actors who are fan favorites who we don't particularly care for. So this first one, I'm reading this first one because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, but this is from Deb, and Deb says, after watching tonight's episode of Game of Thrones, so that was last night, and seeing Joe Dempsey, a.k.a. Gendry, shirtless and I'm thinking, throw some bronze dye on his hair, and there's Finnick. Oh, and he's also quite a good actor, too.
I could totally get on board with that.
I thought the same thing watching that last night.
I could be okay with that guy. I like him in Game of Thrones so far.
I wouldn't be crushed. I like him without a shirt on so far. I think he looks a little young.
He is. If you're curious, he is the exact age as Finnick. He's 24.
What's his name?
His name is Joe Dempsey. And what's amazing is, and if you were a fan of Skins, he played Chris on like the first cycle of
first generation.
Yeah, so he
did some amazing work on Skins.
He did some amazing work on his abs.
Yes, he did. I think him naked.
Before we read the next reader one, can I throw out one just kind of wild card choice? And I know. And I guess we could mention, Grant Gustin and Zac Efron and people like that. But I just want to throw out, this is kind of a stretch. We don't really know if he can act, but could the ridiculously photogenic guy be Finnick? I have to throw that.
That's happened on Twitter or Tumblr.
I've seen it, and I can kind of buy it. I don't know if that guy could act, but does he look like Finnick? Because Finnick is ridiculously photogenic. This is
true.
He would be the guy smiling in a race. So I'm just saying, don't rule that guy out. He could be a surprise pick for all we know as he rises to stardom. Anyway, Savanna, you can go back to the actual reading.
If this were 10 years ago, I would have suggested Marky Mark. He's an underwear model. He got the whole underwear thing down for Walking Day.
You're very big on Mark Wahlberg, I've noticed.
Well, if we're going to go into the past, I mean, if we could get, like, Kevin Bacon circa 1985 and he bulked up, that would work for me. No,
well, there you go.
Like that. I feel so alone.
Well, who are some of the other guys that the fans have suggested? Some of the other comments?
The people over at EW seem to like Ryan Quanten. That's the Jason Stackhouse from True Blood.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Savanna and I actually talked about this once, and we were saying we actually could see it, except we cannot separate the character of Jason Stackhouse from him.
Yeah, I would have a really hard time with that. I would just keep thinking that he's a total ditz and a man's blood.
I'm back, by the way. This is Savanna. What was the last thing that you guys heard from me? Because I was going on and on and on, and I didn't realize that I had been disconnected.
We didn't hear any of it.
What was the last thing that you heard me say, though?
I don't even remember.
The last thing I heard you say was that you said something like, I would really like the ridiculously photogenic guy to be Finnick.
Seriously. Did you guys hear me reading the comments about Nick Rue?
No.
Who's Nick Rue?
No, I did not hear that.
Oh, you guys missed all of that? Oh, my God. I was going on and on about Nick Rue. Okay, so let me do that again, and hopefully I won't get disconnected. Something is really off with my Skype tonight. So a bunch of people mentioned Nick Rue in the comments on our post, and the comment that I read that you guys missed was from Jada T. Can you guys still hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Jada T says, Nick Rue definitely should play Finnick. He has the body, the looks, and the perfect personality to play him. Look him up if you don't know who he is. And by the way, this is a role that Nick Rue really wants. You can even ask him on Twitter. And a bunch of other people mentioned Nick Rue, including Stephanie, the Nick Rue gang, and Lisa C. And what I said, which you guys missed since my Skype disconnected me, was that I had no clue who Nick Rue was until I started watching this ABC Family show called Jane by Design. And it's actually an amazing show, but Nick Rue is on it, and he plays a high school student. And he is he's a great actor. He is adorable, but he looks like he's 15 or 16. He does not look older than Josh or Jennifer by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't think that this is a good part for him, even though he's a good actor and he's very cute. Okay, let's read a couple of more comments. A bunch of people, like I said, are talking about Armie Hammer and Garrett Hedlund. Let's see. Someone here mentions Chris Hemsworth. That would be, this is from Kaisha Plant, and she says, how about Chris Hemsworth? That would be weird in a good way. Any other thoughts about Chris Hemsworth?
That would be weird in a bad way, in my opinion. This is Rebekah. Because, okay, I've seen pictures of Chris and Liam next to each other, or even they're in the same picture. They're brothers. They look like brothers. And I think it would be sort of one of the great things about the Hunger Games is what they've done with the book and with the cast is nobody looks alike. Everyone looks different. It's a diverse cast. And if you have two people in the cast who are actually related and look like they're related and they're not playing people who are related, it'll look weird. Be like, hey, and people will start going to the movie going, hey, those people are brothers. Let's go see the movie with the brothers in it. I don't want people to go see this movie because two brothers are in it.
Or all of the insane fan fiction that it'll spawn about Mr. Hawthorne traveling to District 4 and knocking up Finnick's mother.
Oh, boy. Okay, let's read a few more that fans have submitted.
That took a really dark turn.
This is from Allison. Let's bring it back into the light. This is from Allison, and Allison says, how about Chris Evans? He could pull off the charming Cad and the hero, and he's very, very easy on the eyes and in the age range. Big problem is he's almost A-list now, and this is a supporting role, but I think he'd be great. Any thoughts on Chris Evans?
I wouldn't mind him at all.
He's on my list. He's like a last resort. He's a decent actor. I've seen him in more than, I haven't seen him do the superhero stuff. So he's good looking. He can act, but he is A-list now. So the likelihood of him being contacted for it is small.